Yo, what is going on, everyone? Septic here, and we are at the end of 2023. I just gotta say, 2023 has been nothing short of bangers in terms of games that released this year. And now we have 2024 to look forward to for more games. There's not that many games that I'm really looking forward to at the moment. A lot of them are pretty much coming out the beginning of this next year. There are gonna be some titles here that release later on, but don't expect to see a lot. However, I was still able to pick out 10 games that I'm pretty excited about. I don't know if I'm going to be able to play all of them in 2024, with how busy I am and everything, but I know there's definitely going to be some of these that I'm definitely looking forward to, and then there's some that I still have to play the series, which we'll be getting into as we go in little by little in the games. So anyways, let's get into it. Let's start off with number 10, being Princess Peach Showtime. I think this game is interesting. I don't know exactly how this game is going to end up being, whether or not it's going to be a really fantastic game or just kind of an interesting experiment per se, but it looks interesting per se. That's really all I can say. When I would see the trailer, I wouldn't really get a good opinion on the game. For me, I feel like I need to play the game in order to pretty much give my full thoughts on how I think the game is. Because right now it's not really fully hitting for me. I think the concept looks very interesting, but there's nothing there that's I kind of want this now, you know what I mean? I have to try it out. I hope there's a demo. I don't know. I'll pretty much just wait for people to pretty much play the game and give their thoughts on it. But for the time being, it does look interesting. I like the concept, but right now I just kind of have to try to get my hands on it. All right, so now we're moving on to number 9, and number 9 is going to be interesting because I have yet to play this game in the series from here. And the thing is that there's so many games that have to catch up on that I know it's going to take a while, but I'm determined to do it. Hopefully I can get it all done by next year. But let's talk about this other one that's going to be coming out, and that's The Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak. The next installment in the Trail series is finally going to be coming to the West, localized. I know it's been out for a while in Japan. People have been playing the Japanese versions with fan-made English subtitles and everything. But I know this is the latest ones, and I've heard nothing but good things about the Trail series and this game in general from those that played it early, and I'm actually looking forward to it. I saw that trailer a little bit. I didn't see too much of it because I didn't want to spoil myself too much. I really don't know much about the Trail series. I have heard 1 or 2 tracks from the series, and I think it's phenomenal. The game looks impressive. I think the game looks cool. I'm just down for any RPG. I've been experimenting here and there with RPGs ever since 2018. So I really need to try to get into the Trail series. Hopefully I'll finally be able to do that next year, but Trails Through Daybreak is looking nice, and I'm glad to see that's coming out next year. All right, moving on to number 8, we have Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. We have a remake of The Thousand-Year Door coming out next year, and I'm really interested to see this game. I've heard nothing but praise for this game. I've never owned this game on GameCube. As a matter of fact, just to tell you right now, for those that don't know, my GameCube collection was super small. All right, I only owned a handful of games, and out of all the Mario games, I only owned 1, and it was Mario Power Tennis. But Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, I heard it's probably one of the best Mario RPGs ever released. A lot of people loved it. It's either that or Super Mario RPG, another game that came out this year that I still need to play. But it's pretty much between those two that a lot of people really enjoy. I think pretty much the one that in general that has the best polish has to be The Thousand-Year Door, from what I've heard. I've heard some of the tracks and majority of the characters that I would learn from, and where the sprites come from, everything was mainly from Super Mario Bros. Z, a fantastic series, Flash series and everything. But my friends have always told me, specifically Crouton over here, told me that it is one of the best RPGs ever made. I need to try it out. I've heard nothing but praise. So if he says it's good, it's probably good, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt for this one. All right, number 7, Under Night In-Birth 2 Cisalis. I hope I said that correctly. Under Night 2 is going to be getting a new update, I guess you can say. That's finally going to be bringing it up to part 2. It's going to have new art pieces, a completely brand new UI, definitely a lot of balancing, maybe some new moves. But of course, we're going to be having new characters that we've pretty much been seeing here and there dropped. And of course, there is DLC planned. And this is a series that I got into from BB Tag. I did like the characters that were there, like Hyde, Line, Waldstein. But I have yet to ever play an Under Night game. And I've always wanted to try these out. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of fighting games. And I'm really excited to play the game and just give it a shot. But most of my knowledge from these come from being in BB Tag. I just gotta say, shout outs to BB Tag, because if it wasn't for BB Tag, I would not be a Persona fan. So, hey, look, if I became a fan from there, I can become a fan from Under Night through BB Tag. So, I do want to play Under Night 2. I do want to give it a shot. It looks like a fun game, and I've heard people who played the game and said it's nothing short of like amazing. And I've also heard some tracks from the games, and dude, the music is phenomenal. Absolute bangers, bro. That's what I love to hear in fighting games. So, I'm really excited to try out Under Night 2. I don't know if I'm going to get it at launch, but I do want to get my hands on it eventually. All right, next up is another series I have yet to play, and it's Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. So we have basically Yakuza 8 coming out, and the thing is, I still need to play the Yakuza series. I still haven't even touched Yakuza 0. I know a lot about it due to like Project Cross Zone, friends that have played the game that have talked about it and everything, but I still need to try to get my hands on it and play it. It won't be a blind run because I kind of know a lot about the story, but I still need to play it. I've heard nothing but praise from the Yakuza series. And hey, I have a bet with a friend that for every Sonic game he beats, I'll play a Like a Dragon game. So far, it's 3 down, so I have to play three Yakuza games and everything. So we are doing that little bet there. But Infinite Wealth, the main thing that has me grappling towards it is, of course, the story that's happening with Kiryu, what's going on with him, how he has cancer and everything, and this could possibly be one of like the last moments we ever see of Kiryu. And you know, it's like, if this is indeed the finale of Kiryu, you know, I want to go out with like a bang, bro. Like, I want Kiryu's like finale to just be amazing, nothing short of epic. If you're gonna send him off, it has to be off in a spectacular way. But other than that, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is looking to be more of what Yakuza Like a Dragon pretty much build upon. It's looking tons of fun. They're once again doing the turn-based RPG. I find it funny how Kiryu can pretty much just make the game an action RPG. But I'm really excited to see what exactly this game holds for the story of the series. And I just need to play the games, man. Like, I really slack off in games, man. Like, something I would always do is just pretty much look through like stories of other games that I wasn't able to play and everything. So it kind of sucks that I won't really be going into these things blind. But I've been doing a pretty good job with kind of preventing myself from looking into other stories, kind of like with the Trail series. But Infinite Wealth, I'm not going to look up anything for it. I'm going to see if I can play Yakuza 0. I have no choice. I have to play the games. On like a month that's probably like soft, that nothing much is going to release, I'll probably just jump in and play Yakuza 0. All right, moving on to number 5, and that is Tekken 8, the next installment in the Tekken series. And oh my goodness, bro, the game is looking beautiful. Like, when I look at Tekken 7, that game reminds me of just looking at like a PS3 game or 360 games. I was like upscaled for PS4 and Xbox One. But no, now we're seeing something like a true gen Tekken game. Tekken is back, fiercer than ever. We have over 30 characters in the base roster. A story where Heihachi's no longer alive. This is going to be absolutely insane. From what the story has shown so far, it looks to rival like almost any story that the Tekken series has ever done. And believe it or not, let me tell you guys something. I'm not that big of a Tekken guy. Like, when I first played it, I kind of found it weird. This was back before I even ever got into fighting games, so I thought like the way like these games played was kind of complicated and annoying. But then eventually I got into fighting games with you know, Smash Brawl and Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Then eventually I just started experimenting with fighting games. And believe it or not, like one of the first Tekken-like games I would play would be Pokken and everything. So I was like, you know, if I like Pokken, maybe I'll like you know, the Tekken series. I like the Soul Calibur series, so I'm like, you know, hey, if I can like these games, I know I'm gonna like Tekken. So I do want to make Tekken 8 one of my first time playing Tekken. I don't know if I'm gonna get it at launch, but I'm like really excited. I think the visuals look great. A lot of characters that I know are back, but honestly, I just can't wait. Like, I think Tekken 8 is going to be the fighting game of the year. All right, next up at number 4, we have Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. As of making this video, actually, we did get a new trailer where we got 3 characters confirmed for the game. And unrelated to Relink, but related to Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising is going to be getting 2B in the game, which I think is absolutely incredible. Another amazing game. If you're watching this, you made it this far, please play Nier Automata. It is an absolutely phenomenal game. I'm really loving what I'm seeing here, right? This is a mobile game that's pretty much stuck in Japan, but it has an English localization that people with APKs can pretty much play the game. And that's how a lot of the, you know, the English speakers have been pretty much been playing the games. And what I'm like really excited about is because I'm not like that big on mobile games anymore. There's so many mobile games and gachas I just don't want to spend time playing. At the end of the day, it's just there to try to get your money. I heard it's good with a good story, but I just don't want to play those games anymore. I don't want to play free-to-play games anymore. So the fact that we're getting these paid games to experience stuff in the Grand Blue series is incredible. this is a nice way for me to get into Grand Blue without having to pretty much play the mobile game. Stuff like Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising and Relink just get me happy. Like, I want to see more from this from free-to-play games. But other than that, like, Relink is looking incredible. Gameplay looks sick. The visuals, beautiful. It looks phenomenal. And I really cannot wait to try to get my hands on the game. I don't know if it's going to be at launch, though, because the game is going to be releasing, I think it might have been a day before this specific game that I'll talk about later on. You already know that I'm going to be skipping out for one game in particular that we'll be getting to later. All right, next up, number 3, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the next installment in Final Fantasy VII's remake trilogy here that we have. I have not played the game myself. I want to beat the original FF7. Again, similar to the other ones, I know a lot about the story. Again, an issue from me that I've done. I want to at least beat the original before I jump into remake. Like, I don't know what's going on. All I know is that I see, like, Zack is here alive somehow, and I don't know what's going on. Like, and let's keep it like that, all right? I think whatever they're doing is very interesting. The gameplay is really, really phenomenal. Once again, the visuals are great. I honestly love what they're doing. I wouldn't mind seeing more Final Fantasy games do a similar style like Final Fantasy VII Remake. As an action RPG, I think it looks phenomenal. From what I've heard from the music, of course, as always, beautiful. And I just can't wait to see what kind of shenanigans we're going to be seeing here. Because I do know given how Zack is here, there's some time shenanigans happening here. And I'm very excited to see what exactly they plan on doing. All right, next up, we're at the big 2 for me right now, guys. So number 2 is Metaphor ReFantazio. This is going to be interesting. So Studio Zero, who was originally part of Key Studio, who made the Persona series, they kind of left and like are doing their own thing within Atlas now. And here we're seeing Metaphor ReFantazio, which looks to be combining elements of Persona and the SMT series. From the Persona series, obviously, we're looking to see stuff like the social stats are back. We have social links back again. There seems to be like a calendar-like system in the game. So it is taking a lot of elements that the Persona series is built upon and adding it into this game. That's more of like a medieval-like game with magic, knights, all that stuff. But the SMT aspect comes from the gameplay. The gameplay itself looks very, very SMT-like because of the press turn system. The press turn system is here, so we're going to be probably getting what I would like to say Persona, but harder. But I do like how they're doing the press turn system. It's definitely going to make it a lot more challenging, especially for those that are doing blind runs of the game, trying not to look at like, oh, what's an enemy's weakness? And you see they have a drain. You hit the enemy's drain weakness, and then your press turns are gone. And the enemy just starts molly-whopping you. Like, Metaphor looks phenomenal. The art style, beautiful. The music I've heard so far, great. The voice acting, also great. This is looking to be easily a game of the year for 2024. And finally, my most anticipated game of next year, which is coming out in February. You already know what this is going to. Persona 3 Reload. I still can't believe we're getting a Persona 3 remake. I still remember those leaks from April and then June to reveal and just being extremely hyped for it. Now, my reaction says a different story if you watch that. The thing is that I already knew it was happening because it got leaked prior to that. So I was excited off camera. It is what it is, but it sucks that got leaked. But Persona 3 Reload, like, man, I'm really, really excited for this. I want to see just exactly what they're doing with it. They're trying to keep it as faithful as possible, keeping some elements from those games in. You know, social links are still here, but they're going to be experimenting. They're going to be doing a lot of things that, from what I've heard, they're going to try to implement in the future of the Persona series. Which makes sense because now it's being held by completely different people. The original developers obviously are working on Metaphor, but I'm very excited to see what exactly they do with the Persona series. There's a lot to go about, and you know what? If they're doing all these experimentations, hey, go crazy. Do something that you know will stay true to the Persona series. And also, when I was mentioning Grand Blue Fantasy Relink coming out a day before, this is the game I was talking about. Persona 3 Reload. Like, I'm sorry, like, I want to play Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, but I'm not buying that game at launch when I got Persona 3 Reload coming out the next day, that when I pop in that game into my PlayStation, that's all I'm going to be playing. I will not be touching anything else. But also, on the topic of Persona 3 Reload, it is pretty interesting that they're going with like a new voice cast and everything, but I'm down with it. I don't mind the new cast and everything. There's definitely some people that I prefer that were, like, the older cast, but that's also because, you got to know them. The new voice acting that they have here is incredible. Like, I do think that some of these, like, nail the role. Like, for example, Allegra Clark as Mitsuru is, like, phenomenal in my opinion. I think Zeno Robinson as Junpei is incredible. Other than that, like, I'm really excited for the game. Like, visually, it looks beautiful. I love the fixes to the gameplay. No more of this whole reliance on using the little strategies. Like, all right, you focus on healing and everything. No, we can actually control our party similar to Persona 3 Portable. A lot of quality of life improvements. Like, the tired mechanic is no longer in the game. But I'm pretty sure there's going to be limitations to how much we can explore in Tartarus to try to get us to not, like, just climb up one set of stairs, like, immediately. And I think they started off with, like, I think when you go to the main lobby, none of your characters recover their SP and HP. Other than that, I am really excited for Persona 3 Reload. This is another game that's looking to be my game of the year for 2024. But other than that, that pretty much wraps it up for the games I'm looking forward to next year. I want to ask you guys, what are you looking forward to next year? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, if you made it to the end of this video, I want to thank you all for watching. If you're new to the channel, I want you to hit that subscribe button. It'll really mean a lot to me. Also, if you have social media, my Twitter will be down in the description below, so you can follow me on there. I don't tweet every single time, but I'm pretty much there. And if you do respond to me, I might respond to you back. But anyways, once again, thank you for watching. I hope you have yourselves a fantastic day. Oh, and one more thing. Keep an eye out soon, because there is another video that's going to be following up this one, and it should be releasing around the end of the year. All right? Anyways, take care, everyone.